case ball? Can you do the splits? Can you do the whirly-whirly? Can you do the kicks?
Here in Everton, this great wood stretched across from here in that direction. And the people of Everton, they had the right to go into the wood and use the wood for all the things that they needed it for. Now, in the course of years, the wood was gradually cleared, and you were able to farm the land where the wood had been.
The woods and fields of Everton disappeared under endless rows of terraces more than a century ago. Much of the district has been knocked down, some of it rebuilt. There, and in other central districts of Liverpool, the bulldozer and the building gangs are changing the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. For some, the change is welcome.
6 of us living in this room. We have to cook, eat and sleep, and everything you do is in the same room.
Where many people from the city have been rehoused. There and at Kirby, thousands of decent houses have been built. But many people are reluctant to move out from the old Liverpool.
They've lived in the slums all their lives. They have their associations there, their churches, their pubs, their shops. And it means, in many cases, when the person is perhaps 80 years old, a complete breakup of their past life.
City Council as a whole decided almost unanimously to lend itself to the creation of as many houses as was possible. This led, in the main, to the establishment of 2 estates on the perimeter of the city, one at Speke and the other at Kirby. And we in the Liverpool City Council now, having had some experience of watching these estates develop, now realise that perhaps we made the most fundamental mistake that we could have possibly made. We created on a piece of land which had been almost bulldozed flat to resemble the drawing board of the architect, a desert of houses in which people resided, which people slept, but we created at the same time estates upon which people could not, in fact, live a good life.
I'll say this about the neighbours, that you'd say to them when I was down here, a lot of people are from the Dock and Dock Road and round this area. And as I said, rough people are brought up that road. And unfortunately, there's a bond down here that seems to lose everybody when they get new houses. I'm sorry to see that go.
We require 110,000 new dwellings by the turn of the century, and yet we can only provide about a third of them within the city.
Liverpool 100 years ago was built as a good city. Liverpool 100 years ago didn't build a city for everybody. It built a city for people who controlled it. Liverpool in the future must be a city for the whole of the people. It must be a city in which people can live a really decent life, in which they can commune with their neighbours and have a really good social life as well as an individual life.
It's all part of their new urban regeneration strategy, the council's attempt to show that socialism works. It's the biggest municipal building programme in the country. Housing has always been a very emotive issue in Liverpool politics. In the 1950s and 60s, high-rise flats were the fashion, replacing the city's appalling slums. Such blocks are seen by everyone as a disastrous and very expensive mistake. Liverpool's urban regeneration strategy deliberately concentrates on 17 tightly defined priority areas, which the council thinks need most attention. These are the piggeries, 3 council tower blocks which had to be abandoned because they were so unpopular. They've remained an empty eyesore for 7 years. The council want to knock them down and build houses and bungalows on the site instead. The council are also developing 3 new parks, including Everton Park, which the council says is the biggest British inner-city park created this century.